Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today I bring you WCW Fall Brawl 2000 custom DVD review. Let's take a look at the cover, I'll go over the stats and then the matches and give you my thoughts and opinions as always. So we have what I thought was an awesome looking logo for Fall Brawl with that strange looking skull and Scott Steiner and Goldberg on the poster there, or cover artwork. Unedited, unpredictable, unbelievable. And there's the disc artwork. You can see the skull on there as well, which is pretty cool. And there's the spine. And here's the back. So we had 10 matches on this pay-per-view, which I'll go over shortly. I'll just give you some stats. So this was from September 17th, 2000, from Buffalo, New York at the HSBC Arena. We had 8,638 in attendance this evening. And this followed on from the previous month's New Blood Rising 2000 from August, which I covered in a review a few weeks back. So the show opened up with a Cruiserweight Championship match, or as Lance Storm likes to call that championship at this time, 100 kilos and under championship or something stupid like that. Anyway, we had the champion Elix Skipper with Major Guns against Kiwi with Paisley. Kiwi, quite a flamboyant character. I can't remember who else he used to wrestle as before, but yeah. This was the match that opened up the show, made a change from having 3 count open up the show against the Young Dragons. And it was okay. Elix Skipper, I thought he was quite a talented wrestler. He's very athletic, and some of the moves he could pull off was just so impressive back then. And it was a shame that WWE didn't sign him when they bought the company the following March. He did end up going to TNA, if I remember rightly. He was in a tag team with Christopher Daniels. I think it may have been Triple X. I'm sorry, my memory is really bad today. But yeah, anyway, an okay-ish opener. Interference, yeah, you were waiting for me to say that word, weren't you guys? Yes, interference. We did have interference straight away in the first match from Natural Born Thrillers. So Elix Skipper retaining the championship. And I don't know why Major Guns was with Elix Skipper or Team Canada during this pay-per-view, because she was a member of the Misfits in Action. I can't remember the reason behind that, why she's with them, but she didn't look like she was happy to be with Elix Skipper anyway, so maybe there was a match somewhere on Nitro or Thunder where Misfits in Action had lost or something, and her managerial rights probably went to Team Canada. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. It's a long time ago since I saw those Nitros and Thunders. But yeah, that's the opening to the show. An okay match, an okay opener, apart from the interference, but I'm not going to bother keep moaning about that. I'm moving forward. We had match number 2. We had 3 count. Oh, right. They didn't open the show, but they were on the second match. They were against Misfits in Action members Corporal Cajun, Lieutenant Loco, and Sergeant AWOL in a 6-man tag team match. Again, this was okay, but it could have been better, and it did make a change to have 3 count against 3 other wrestlers other than the Young Dragons. I'm not saying that those 2 teams didn't do well against each other, but they were the only 2 trios at this time that they could actually make a match out of and make it exciting. But Misfits in Action did okay, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. The Misfits in Action won. And we move on to match 3 next. So we have the Harris Brothers against Chronic in a First Blood chain match. Now, this wasn't too bad. I didn't mind it because I'm a fan of Chronic, or was a fan of Chronic, and to see them in quite a brutal match, I'd say. the First Blood chain match. It was quite cool, but unfortunately, it was very short. And the Harris brothers had managed to pick up the victory. I can't remember which Brian of Chronic was busted open, but I think one of the Harris brothers were busted open as well, but the referee didn't see it and awarded Harris brothers the win. Very strange. Match 4, we had Lance Storm defending his United States Championship, or his Canadian Championship as he liked to call it. He was with Major Guns against General Rection from the Misfits in Action, and we had Jim Duggan as a special guest enforcer for this match. Match itself wasn't too bad, ruined by the screwy finish of Jim Duggan turning heel and joining Team Canada. I thought at the time when this had happened, back in 2000 when I was reading about it, it was a stupid decision to make, because Jim Duggan's always been like, for the US fans and everything, and to have him do such a harsh thing, turning on the US and aligning himself with Team Canada, was just very strange. Yeah, he attacked General Rection with his plank of wood. I forgot what it's called now. Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong with my measurements. I was going to say 2x4, but probably something else. I'm not very good with dimensions. Sorry, guys. But yeah, he attacked General Rection and helped Lance Storm retain the championship. So it was okay up until the little interference at the end there. But moving on again, we had the Filthy Animals against the Natural Born Thrillers in a elimination match, similar to what you would get in your traditional Survivor Series elimination match from the WWE, WWF. So Filthy Animals, we had Disco, Rey Mysterio Jr., Juventud Guerrera, Conan, and Tigress. Oh, and Big Vito and Paul Orndorff as well. And they were against Mark Jindrak, Sean O'Hare, Mike Sanders, Chuck Palumbo, Sean Stasiak, Reno, and Johnny the Bull. The match was okay, but unfortunately it ended in a no contest, and they had to continue the match on the following evening's Nitro, because I'd forgotten about this, by the way, as well, guys. So Paul Orndorff suffered a nasty injury. He went to pile drive Sean O'Hare, and he sort of messed his neck up. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, he managed to injure himself using doing his own move on someone on his opponent, on Sean O'Hare in this case. And he just led there in the ring and just couldn't move. It was very uncomfortable to watch. And they tried to continue the match by working around him. We had Rey Mysterio and Tigress attacking Sean O'Hare. But Sean O'Hare covered Orndorff to get him eliminated from the match, because he's seen what was going on. And then we had lots of referees just surrounding Paul to make sure he was okay. And yeah, very, very uncomfortable, very unfortunate as well. And this had to force Paul Orndorff into retirement. Very, very nasty stuff. I'm glad that they stopped the match after a certain amount of time. They should have just done it straight away, but they tried to drag it out for like a minute or two after it happened. But they just couldn't work around him being in the ring, and health and safety reasons. That's understandable. But I'm glad they stopped it. But yeah, no contest for that elimination match. But like I said, it was good up until that point. So there was nothing bad to say about it, apart from obviously the Paul Orndorff situation is very unfortunate. But yeah, they continued that match on the following evening's Nitro, as I said. We'll move on from that anyway, guys, because I don't really like talking about that one too much. It's quite sad in a way. Poor Paul Orndorff as well. Bless him. Yeah, match number 6, we had a scaffold match. Billy Kidman and Medusa against Shane Douglas and Tori Wilson. I think the rules were you had to throw both opponents of the opposing team from the scaffold to win. I've never been a fan of scaffold matches. You're just limited to the space you can work with, and obviously the height and everything else. It feels a bit uncomfortable, to watch as well. But this one wasn't too bad. We had Medusa eliminated, first of all, because she tried climbing down the ladder, and halfway down, Shane Douglas decides to, after he's took out Billy Kidman on the top of the scaffold, decides to climb down the ladder after her and starts kicking her in the head, and eventually she just falls backwards. She drops about 15 feet onto one of those like crash mats. But yeah, she fell, and then Shane Douglas climbed back up, beat up Billy Kidman a bit more, then threw him from the actual scaffold itself to the floor or the stage below onto another kind of crash mat. 20 foot, I think they said it was. But yeah, it was okay for what it was. But like I said, I'm not a fan of scaffold matches. And yeah, that was that one really. It's all to report on that one, nothing else. We had match number 7, a triple threat match between Vampiro, who was with the Insane Clown Posse, Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. They both did some commentary during the match. And Vampiro was against the Great Muta and Sting. A very short match. Again, a second one in a row on pay-per-view for Sting as well, to be short. This one lasted just over 5 minutes, I think it was. And Sting picking up the victory. And afterwards, Sting goes to leave and goes to walk out the back. And the Great Muta's attacked by Insane Clown Posse and Vampiro. And Sting makes the save and drags the Great Muta out. And yeah, very strange considering the Great Muta has been teaming with Vampiro and the Demon for all these months, attacking Sting and, making Sting's life a living hell. And then we get Sting, out of the kindness of his heart, saving the Great Muta from a vicious attack from ICP and Vampiro. It was okay for what it was. Very entertaining. We'll just leave it at that. We had a bunkhouse brawl match between Jeff Jarrett and Mike Awesome. And this one was, it was okay. I don't mind bunkhouse brawl matches. It was okay. But what got me was faces that were helping Mike Awesome, who was a face, help defeat Jeff Jarrett. Help him defeat Jeff Jarrett. And yeah, we had there was a football team, I think it was. I can't remember the name of them. They were in attendance. They tried to interfere in the match and distract Jarrett. Then we had Sting come out as well. Yes, Sting. What the fuck kind of crazy booking is that? But I think he was after Jeff Jarrett, who previously attacked him. So that could explain that a little bit. And also, actor from the 80s, Gary Coleman. I don't know how I can word this. He's, I don't know if a lot of you may remember him. A short actor, like a dwarf actor. I want to use the correct term because the times we're living in nowadays, if I say the wrong thing, then some people get pissy about it. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, he came in and he low blowed Jarrett as well, and not as well as the other ones. Only he low blowed Jarrett, but he came and helped Mike Awesome as well as Sting and that football team. So Mike Awesome defeated Jeff Jarrett in the bunkhouse brawl. Again, it held some entertainment value, but fucking interference. Match number 9, and this really made my day. I absolutely loved this. This is one of the best wrestling matches I've seen in WCW history. So we had a no disqualification match. Scott Steiner against Goldberg. Wow, two of the biggest wrestlers, biggest monsters. King Kong, as they said, versus Godzilla on commentary. That's what the commentary team said about this match. And it was. And it delivered. Absolutely awesome stuff. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Steiner fan. This is probably, apart from Goldberg against DDP, this is Goldberg's best match I've ever seen him in. Scott Steiner, one of his best matches, best singles matches, definitely. And Steiner threw everything he could at Goldberg. Goldberg just didn't want to give up. Remember, Goldberg was being booked as that kind of unpinnable, unstoppable kind of monster. He was very, very difficult to beat. He managed to get the Steiner recliner multiple times, which was very impressive. His strength, like gorilla press into a shoulder, slam on Steiner, near 300-pound wrestler at that point. That was also impressive. Yeah, as I said, Steiner threw everything he possibly could at Goldberg. Steiner sporting a mask during this match because he had I think something wrong with his eye socket. They said in storyline it was because Goldberg had hit him in the face with a iron bar or something, causing his eye socket to be fractured. I don't know, something stupid like that. But no, there was a real life injury to his face apparently. I can't remember what it was though. Sorry guys. But yeah, Steiner, absolutely awesome, and Goldberg was as well. I'm not gonna just praise Steiner. And the match, it felt a little long, but that didn't bother me because they were just giving the best, especially Steiner. He was just throwing everything he could, as I said, at Goldberg. But we got to near the end, and this bugged me a little bit, but then I didn't let it after a while. We had Madeja come down to help Steiner. She put an iron bar down and started to attack Goldberg, along with Russo as well, with an iron bar, and helped Madeja and helped Steiner, beat down Goldberg. And one of the commentators made like a funny comment saying, like when Goldberg was led on the floor and Steiner was doing some press ups, one of the commentators, I think it was Mark Madden, he said, Madeja needs to get under him for a few seconds, and I thought, just to take advantage of him. Steiner, that is, doing his press ups. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know, I have a strange sense of humor, guys. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool and funny. Yeah, and then it took all three of them to just dish out this nasty beating, and that they given him such a vicious beatdown with 2 iron bars plus Steiner giving him a beating as well. And then a Steiner recliner, which Goldberg just had no response from. He was gone. He was KO'd. So Steiner managed to win by technical submission. And remember, this was no DQ, so that's why another reason why I didn't moan too much about the interference during this one as well. But it does get to me. It does, the interference. But I'm not going to let it. It didn't ruin that match, and I really did enjoy that match. Like I said, one of the best WCW matches I've ever watched in my life. And this is the first time I've watched this all through unedited, as far as I know. And yeah, as far as I know, it is unedited anyway, guys. And yeah, in its entirety, very good stuff. And then we went to match number 10, the main event, a caged heat match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. We had champion Kevin Nash against challenger Booker T. Well, this was a short match, which is understandable because Kevin Nash couldn't work a very long match, because of his knees and everything else. He did well as a defending champion, and he put Booker T over, and Booker T became world champion again, and I was very pleased with that. And the match itself, it worked pretty well, and I'm glad that they went the time they did, and it was a good way to end the show. So the show itself overall started off, I wouldn't say slow. It was okay with that Elix Skipper and Kiwi match, but it did take a while to pick up momentum, and it kind of lost a bit of momentum, say, during that Filthy Animals against Natural Born Thrillers elimination match, because I was worried about Paul Orndorff, obviously. I know this was from over 20 years ago, guys, so I shouldn't be worrying about that still now. But at the time, you do worry when you see a wrestling injury or a wrestler injured or something. It's very horrific, and yeah. But then we got to the bunkhouse brawl and that awesome Steiner and Goldberg match. If you guys have never seen that, I highly recommend checking that one out. It's absolutely brutal and just fucking awesome. Absolutely amazing. It was that good, guys, and I'll tell you the truth, I went and watched it back a second time, where I loved it that much. And I'm tempted to watch it again. So yeah, very good stuff. Good main event with Booker and Nash as well, as I said. I'm giving it a score of 8 out of 10. So a fucking huge improvement it was over. Let's never talk about the one I'm going to say again after this now. So New Blood Rising. Let's not talk about that one again. Well, not anytime soon anyway. But yes, I've had fun reliving some of these WCW pay-per-views throughout the summer of 2000. And yeah, that brings us to the end of that now. Well, I haven't covered Halloween Havoc 2000. I may do that. I don't know. I was thinking about doing Halloween Havoc, sorry, nearer to the time of Halloween this year, like covering Halloween Havoc pay-per-views that I haven't reviewed already. You know, just to keep the tradition going. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this. If I deserve a thumbs up today, please give me one. And honestly, I recommend you guys check this one out or get this one for your collection as a custom. Absolutely brilliant. Good end, good second half of the pay-per-view. You know, from what started off as a bit worrying, ended up amazing. And it made me smile and I was very happy with it. And yeah. Oh, if you haven't subscribed, please do so already. Sorry, guys, I forgot about that to ask you that as well. And I'm grateful for new subscribers. Thank you for joining me. And sometimes I get all my words muddled because I'm trying to get everything out in one go, so I do apologize for that too. I get overexcited. But thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you guys again soon. Stay safe. Peace.